Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have Goosebumps. This is the 2023 series. There is a 2015 series as well. This is, it says that it's an anthology. I mean, it's kind of what the Goosebumps stories were always about, based on the book series. Was it R.L. Stine? I did not grow up with them. They were after my time. My generation grew up with Stephen King. Yeah. So yeah, but hey, the Goosebumps stories have always been good, solid horror stories that skewed younger in its characters and its focus. It wasn't as mature, let's say, but it still provided the scares. That kids saw it when it came to horror. So it's not a way to put it down or lessen it, say it has less of an impact or it's not as scary. It has the potential, and from just watching one episode, yeah, it is solid horror. I kind of expected this was something that was just put on Disney Plus, and it would have fallen under the umbrella of Disney type horror, just so it'd be scary but undermined by maybe humor, or we'll all be friends at the end and nobody's really hurt, that kind of stuff. I just kind of figured it was going to be Disney-fied. It is not. It is not. Just from watching the first episode, and there is already a second season. They're advertising the crap out of it, apparently, but it's not. The second season is not on Disney Plus right now. It might be through Hulu. I'm not sure, or maybe it's coming in. I'm looking at the image and it says January season 2 premiere January 10th. So okay, forget about that. There is no season 2 yet, and it is not on Hulu. It is coming January of all times, but you can catch up. I have a feeling that while these stories tend to be anthologies and it's listed as an anthology, this season involves the same characters. By the end of the episode, I'm not going to spoil it. There is kind of it feels like a callback to another iconic horror trope. Just say the sins of a generation fall upon the next. If you know what that is, then you get an idea what I'm talking about. But it's not the same character. It is not done the same way. But fire is definitely involved in both of those situations. This is like I said, from 2023. While it says it, like I said, anthology, it is 10 episodes this season, and it follows a number of different characters, mainly our teenage characters. One of which is played by Zach Morris. No, not the character. There's an actor named Zach Morris, and he's kind of our lead. His name is Isaiah Howard, and he's kind of our lead, at least in this episode. It all kind of, I have a feeling each of these characters kind of gets a little bit of focus. Some of the adults get a little bit more focus as well. What we also get, let's see, we get Isa Briones. I hope I pronounced that right. I recognize her the most. Well, not the most, I shouldn't say that. I recognize her because I remember she appeared on Star Trek Picard. Yeah, for 2 of those seasons. So, I think she appeared briefly in the 3rd, maybe. I don't know. But without spoiling that show, she appeared in that. You would recognize her if you watch Picard. There is a character played named James by Miles McKenna, and this is a non-binary character. So yeah, that's also kind of a step. And when, again, honestly, when you go through horror films and you kind of look at the tropes that you expect to see in horror films, where they've played on this in spoofs like Scary Movie and things like that, where the black character always dies first, or there's always the last girl kind of situation where the girl, everybody else gets killed off, and there's one girl who stands against the onslaught of evil and survives, or just is last to be. She's the last one to die. How do you play that when you have a non-binary character? Are they going to have the same fate? Are they going to be ticked off the same way? And we see in this first episode, a lot of this is just me blathering expectations or lack of there. But there is, I'm feeling each episode has a gimmick. The second episode is the Haunted Mask or something. Yes, the Haunted Mask, and I have not watched that. But you know what? I am gonna add this. I didn't expect to like this. I'm not a huge horror person, and I wasn't expecting Goosebumps to appeal to me as an adult by my age. It's pointed towards kids. But in this one, the object seems to be a camera that these kids are kind of mystified as to how it works, because it's not their phone. But when they pretty quickly pick it up, and Isaiah himself, he discovers that it has a certain feature that nobody was expecting. So that's all I can say about that. What I do recognize in a lot of these actors, though, are names I've seen before. Whether it's Rachel Harris is one of the adults, Justin Long, right here, Justin Long, who feels like not too long ago he was playing the teenage roles. Yeah, and now he plays a school teacher, an older guy who moves into town, lives alone. Yeah, Rob Hubel plays, I think, the principal and the parent of one of the kids. Also, Rob Hubel's comedy, he's comedian, I should say. He's done a ton of stuff. You've seen him. I've seen him in a lot of stuff. Leonard Roberts plays one of the dads as well, Isaiah's dad, in fact, and he's been Heroes. He was one of the young guys, one of the main characters on Heroes way back then. You remember Heroes? People my age. It's not that long ago. But yeah, again, eventually there's other credits in here that are probably for season 2. So David Schwimmer is all over the posters. It's like, oh, well, we got one of the friends. So we're going to put him on posters where his face is getting all messed up. Yeah. But yeah, if you're wondering if this is going to be something that is beneath you as a horror maven, I don't know. I don't think so. It's not going to go hardcore gore. It's not going to be just, there is blood. Oh, there's absolutely blood. There are fire effects. I'll say that. That'll be the nicest way I can put this. But things that, it's not just like, hey, what's our teenage market going to be really afraid of? Do they hate fire? Do they hate not having cell phone service? Like, I mean, it's not going to be that kind of, pandering storytelling. I think it's structured really well. The reveal of some of the twists is done really well, and that's just the first episode. I don't know what to expect from the rest of the season, and again, this whole first season, as far as I can tell, tells one single story, but through different horror mechanics, peppered throughout. So I say give it a shot. If this is their Halloween season kind of thing, and don't expect it to be just for kids, but also just don't expect it to be, Terrifier. Okay, it's not Terrifier 3 or anything. No. But look at it as Twilight Zone a little bit. It has a very Twilight Zone vibe, which I think that's some of my favorite horror, is some of the psychological stuff that kind of just really messes with your head. I mean, and honestly, so much of the Twilight Zone, even back in the day, the Rod Serling era, and there's been many eras since then, whether we remember them or not. But there's so much of the concept behind the Twilight Zone is horror. It's pretty scary stuff, even if it's just social commentary and things like that. But it's horror. It's if you only define horror as blood and guts, then sorry, that's just just a fetishized version of expressing horror elements. So, but don't come at me. So yeah, I say definitely check it out. I added it to my list, and I don't often do that. I'm again really surprised at how well this is produced. It is not just a standard. It's not a Disney Channel budget. Not even a 2023 Disney Channel budget. It's pretty solid. It's got the atmosphere, and it's got the look and feel that they didn't skimp on this. And it's all good actors. Yeah, and it's not just like they never hire bad actors for Disney productions. Anyway, that's all I can say about that. Normally, I randomly choose things from a number generator. I pick something, but this whole 13 days span leading up to Halloween, I'm doing Halloween only stuff. They've already picked. I have it in order, and because I don't know how much longer I'll be doing this into the next year. I'm running out of stuff, and I figured I'm going to put as much Halloween stuff in here as possible, like I do with Christmas and the holidays they're around, Hanukkah and everything else. I do 12 days of Christmas kind of thing in December. So I figured I'll do 13 days of Halloween. Next one we have on the list is, I think, another Disney Junior thing. It is, to really contrast this one, it's Mickey's Spooky Stories. I think these are actual shorts, like really short. And there's a handful of them. I think I might watch all of them. I think they're really brief. So, Mickey's Spooky Stories on the next Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow with that. Bye.